YouTube, what the crap's going on? HeirofCarthage here. Man, it's been a long time since I've seen the Tomb Kings. I love the Tomb Kings. I don't play these guys enough because they were an awesome DLC. Speaking of awesome DLC, we're getting closer to another awesome DLC with the Curse of the Vampire Coast. So, and also, I know you don't see Grand Heirophant Khatep very much. So that's another reason why I wanted to bring you this up. Just look at this game. This is why I don't play historical Total Wars very much anymore. I mean, yeah. Germanic cut and paste versus that. In any case, Heirophant Khatep is on his Casket of Souls, and he's going to be facing off against the Lizardmen led by Lord Mazdamundi. Now, Reptile King, get your salt ready, bud. That's right. There will be lizards killed in this battle, buddy. Though I won't tell you who wins. It's actually going to be a pretty close fight, and it's going to be a fun one. So, but lizard men are going to die, as well as Tomb Kings. Well, I mean, but they're already dead. So, Mazdamundi, he's got a Scar Veteran on a Carnosaur, a Feral Bastillodon, several Saurus Warriors, including a couple of Spear units, one Chameleon Skink, two Javelin Cohorts back here. And then there are some Cold One Spear Riders as well. You can see Khatep has open fire. He does have extreme range. Let's go check out the Tomb King's army. We've got the Chosen of the Gods, Ishabti, which is a regiment of renown. They fire like an airburst missile thing that's really amazing looking. I'll let you see it here. There you go. You can see it like does this cool airburst thing and then comes down. So you're going to get some sweet visuals in the beginning of this, and I'm going to let you enjoy it. So the main Tomb King's army is 4 Tomb Guards, I believe. Yes. There's going to be 1 Scorpion Legion. In the back, there are 2 Ishabti supporting a Sphinx of Uskef, as well as a Nehekara Horseman hidden on the flank. So let's check this one out. The Lizardmen have really good infantry, but they're going to take a tremendous amount of damage making their way up to the Tomb King. So I would think just, you know, in a nice slog-out fight, the Saurus Warriors probably trade pretty decent with Tomb Guard, especially considering the price difference. But look at the damage that's being rained down by Khatep and his Chosen of the Gods. The Lizardman player is going to form up with his mobile units and kind of come through the woods over here. And I will go off of this view here in just a minute so y'all can catch everything that goes on. But he's going to try and bring a flank attack. So you can see the Nehekara Horseman, and there's a Ruination of Cities. Mazdamundi here is going to drop his mob-busting abilities a little bit early in this fight, in my opinion. Ruination of Cities did a little damage, but not much. You really got to wait, I think, until you can try and get some units blobbed up. So I think Ruination of Cities might have been possibly even more effective if he may have done 2 things here, and I'll just give this suggestion. So, Mazdamundi is a blob breaker. He's got Ruination of Cities and Banishment, which are great at breaking up blobs, but there's no blob here. The Tomb Kings are spread out. So, what I think would have been a relevant course of action, maybe bring your Bastillodon, bring Mazdamundi and the Carnosaur and some of the other units on the flank like he is, just to get some attention. And then maybe your Bastillodon swings around. You can see right now the Bastillodon's being mismicroed. Swing your Bastillodon in on this side. Try and draw a couple of units up, and then have Mazdamundi drop those mob-busting spells right in the middle of it. Now, look at the damage done by Khatep. 1 unit of Saurus Warrior is basically gone. Another one damaged, and then the Skink cohorts took some damage as well. So, the Grand Hierophant has caused a lot of damage. 67 kills, and he's not finished yet. These units by the Lizardmen that get mismicroed are going to be taken advantage of. The Lizardmen starts pouring all of their attention into this flank. They just charge right in with the Cold One Spear Riders, but there's Ushabti there. They're going to cause a lot of armor-piercing damage, and honestly, the Spear Riders are a little bit flimsy. They do good damage, but they're flimsy. And then here comes these Scorpion Legion being patiently microed around the flank to try and trap the Lizardmen here. And now the Saurus Warrior's coming in, but you can see there a brilliant spell from Heirophant Khatep, who picks up 50 kills with a sandstorm vortex that happened while I was focused over there. He took out most of a Saurus Warrior again. So Khatep still racking up the kills. You can see him with a nice firing arc there, able to support these fights even when the Tomb Kings are relatively engaged there. And Zlok and his warriors struggling to punch through this side, though they did damage the Nehekara Horsemen. They damaged the Ushabti. They've done a lot of damage, but it's costly damage. And that Sphinx of Uzkef gets in here and really lays down the law on that Scar veteran. And so things not looking great for the Lizardmen at the moment. The Bastiladon was mismicroed and is now picked up. But at this point, Khatep is just not threatened. Not threatened at all. He's got the Sphinx for protection. And he's going to be sitting back here. He's 150 kills. And the kills are just going to start jumping. Skinks like that were already damaged, and now a bunch of them are going to start dying when they get bombarded. You see the Bastiladon comes in, but it comes in and attacks the Sphinx of Uzkef. Probably should have tried to come towards this other flank. But at this point, the Lizardmen don't really have a great way to deal with the Sphinx of Uzkef. Their best bet would be to try and combine Mazdamundi and the Bastiladon. They both have armor-piercing damage. Both of them have an anti-infantry bonus, but at least the armor-piercing damage would combine against the Sphinx. That Ruination of Cities does get a little bit of work done. Killed some Tomb Guard and some Scorpion Legion, but probably not enough. Look at Khatep there, 199 kills. Easily dispatching the Skink cohorts in the back. After they had already taken some damage, they were quite vulnerable. Mazdamundi's going to get in here in an infantry fight, and he does like this kind of fight. He'll deal quite a bit of damage, but he's losing all of his support. The Scar veteran did come back, and some of the Lizardmen infantry's regrouped, but you see Khatep just continues to lay down volleys, and he is well over 200 kills now. And then these Chosen of the Gods are trying to fire. They're a little bit obstructed here. They're trying to go for Mazdamundi. Yeah, you can see the Bastiladon gets wrapped up. The Nehekara horsemen actually managed to survive all that, which is pretty incredible. There's not many of them left. Scorpion Legion ended up being a very effective unit to go help shore up the flank. A slow unit, but it ended up being effective. Now you can see Mazdamundi here and his Scar veteran trying to make a last stand. The Scar veteran did get to use Cold Blood, got some healing done, but the Sphinx of Uzkef is going to be a nasty challenger to come up against at this point in the game. 660 and anti-large versus 465. So the Sphinx of Uzkef here is going to be the harder hitter. 100 armor too versus 95. 53 melee defense versus 49. So that Sphinx is going to be one nasty piece of work. He's going to get the Scar veteran Mazdamundi attacking as well. The Heirophant up to 211 kills. And at this point, Zlok and Mazdamundi are just outmatched. They got nothing left. So I understand this battle, and yes, I watched it ahead of time. So you're like, well, that Lizardman player made all kinds of mistakes. He did. And I hope that you all are able to learn something when I showed it here to you, and kind of think about how to use the forces he had available to himself. Khatep is going to cause tremendous damage, and he would get wrecked by Mazdamundi. So I think the Lizardman player needed to do a better job of busying some of the units of the Tomb Kings and going after the key units like Khatep. Dealing with the Sphinx of Uzkef was not going to be easy. Not easy at all. And with just the single Scar veteran, I'm not even sure that the Lizards had a good way of dealing with the Sphinx of Uzkef here. But he had some ways that he could have caused some more damage. Like I said, if Mazdamundi could have been used better against a blob, so use your Feral Bastiladon. Relatively cheap unit. Charge it into one flank, try and blob up some infantry, drop the Ruination of Cities, drop the Banishment, kill as many Tomb Kings early as you can. If you trigger that healing early on the Tomb Kings because you kill a whole bunch of them, some of the units of the Tomb Kings won't have really even lost much, so the healing will be wasted. And then for the units that you drop the Ruination and the Banishment on, it kills a whole bunch of them, and it's just not going to be as useful when you go through that Realm of Souls healing. So I think getting that killing in early with Mazdamundi, maximizing his blob busting. Again, though, in the end, I'm not sure that pick was the best one for the Lizardmen. I mean, you never know what you're going to come up against in battles, so sometimes you can pick wrong. I think in this case, though, Krokgar would have been a more solid pick. Krokgar, along with the Scar veteran, would make any use of constructs pretty difficult for the Tomb Kings, because the two of them together are going to be very, very powerful against large units. So, yeah, they're not as good versus infantry, but, I mean, Tomb King's infantry isn't that great to begin with. I don't know, that's just my thought process. Be curious to see what you all think in the Lizardmen versus Tomb Kings matchup. I think the Lizardmen have a real advantage in the Saurus Warriors, to be honest. And Saurus Warriors are a pretty solid unit. Again, I'm not sure exactly how they match up against Tomb Guard, but I would think it would be, price-wise, somewhat favorable for the Saurus Warriors, just because they're relatively low cost for performance. I would think where the Lizardmen struggle, they don't have armor-piercing missiles, really. And so they're not going to have anything to take care of that. But, I mean, they do have a lot of monsters to try and make things difficult for the Tomb Kings. And, yeah, should make it interesting. I don't know, it's a fun matchup. I haven't seen Heirophant Khatep on the battlefield in a long time, so I really enjoyed that. And I appreciate Big Mike sending it in. That was one of the big reasons why I wanted to show this, to show you some Khatep usage, because I'm sure that's something you all haven't seen in a while. Do you all still use Khatep? I know most people I see when they use the Tomb Kings always tend to prefer Archon, or Khalida, or even Cetra before they go to Khatep. So I thought that was pretty fun. And you saw there that Khatep can be quite effective against infantry targets and skirmisher targets. You just have to be able to protect him. So that's the key, right? If you get him in a bad position where you can't protect him, he dies fast. And I mean real fast. Anyway, hope you all enjoyed this one. If you want to see more, make sure to subscribe, hit the goofy bell, and if you're lucky, YouTube might actually notify you that I put up a video, because you never know with those goons. But, yeah, keep an eye out. HeirofCarthage, signing out for now.